On today's episode of The Daily of the New York Times podcast, they were talking about this just internet privacy and new facial recognition software that this new company is piloting that they've allowed law enforcement, like local and all the way up to the FBI, to use to identify criminals. And it's been really effective so far, and I don't think it's gone public yet. They also talked about how even years ago, Google and Facebook said that they had the capabilities to just like gather all this information about us and make the software, but they didn't want to make it publicly available. So like dystopian government situations don't happen because we grew up kind of with the internet, and I feel like just like things like terms and conditions, nobody really reads anymore. Just like about how we protect our own internet privacy or whether we care at all, because I feel like now, unless you're completely offline for your whole life, there really isn't a way to really protect it. And also like government surveillance, because that's very real, like both in China, but also just like here as well. I feel like you can't be naive enough to be like, that's a Chinese thing.
So when you said surveillance, I thought about the fact that my sorority has a poop map of everywhere that we've pooped.
A poop map?
Yeah, like you can like log where you've pooped, and you can like join the poop map and put where you poop.
You log it like yourself?
Yeah, like you like input, like you know those apps that like you like tell them when you like drink water. It's like an app where you like tell them where you poop, and then it like shares your location and like says that you pooped there, and then you can see where like everyone else in the sorority has pooped.
Is that to identify like the best like locations on campus? Or is it just like a fun thing?
Yeah, we're just like, you know, quirky and relatable. Sorority girls who poop.
A lot of these things, like we care so much about privacy, but a lot of this information we offer up ourselves. Like, you know those like period tracking apps? Like sometimes like it's convenient, but also it's kind of spooky if you think about it, because I'm like, now who knows who has access to like, you know, your period cycle, which I'm like, I don't think they could use it against me in any way, but it's just strange that this company has this information. Also like 23andMe,
like, didn't they use that for like testing genetically or something like that? Like they used it for something other than just telling you where you came from. Like they used it to like build a database and like check for like diseases or something. I don't know, I was talking to someone and I was like, you know, I kind of like want to like get a 23andMe, but also I'd probably just tell me that I'm like 99.9% like Southeast Asian, so probably a waste of like $100. But like what if I'm like, I don't know, part something else? Their database is built off of like Caucasians, so they don't have like a very good database of like Asian DNA, so it wouldn't be able to be like 50% Chinese and like 42% like Filipino or like something like that. They would just probably be like Asian, which like, wow, amazing.
Wasn't there like a whole thing about how these like the databases that these like ancestry websites collected could be used for like eugenics? Yeah, I feel like now we want to have more control over like every aspect of our life, to the point where like I feel like aren't they even like just like Silicon Valley companies that were kind of promoting eugenics, but not just like labeling as eugenics, just like, oh, like give your kid the best chance they got. I think it's kind of like one of those things where it's like we have the capability to like say identify criminals based on just like a blurry picture of them, or like design like superior human being with like genetics, but it's at the same time it's like, should we use our technology for the kind of immoral things? Kind of goes back to the whole should we do it if we can question.
Yeah. I can't stop thinking about like the hydrogen bomb, when Truman was like, oh my god, should I bomb the Japanese? Like, should I develop the technology to bomb the Japanese? Well,
if there is like the capability to kind of like predict what diseases you're gonna get in say like 20-30 years, would you want to know?
Would there be like a cure for the disease also, or would I just like know that like I'd had the disease?
Like maybe there'll be a cure in like 20-30 years when you do have it, but at this point,
I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe it'd be nice to know so that I could like know to like live my life fully, like YOLO, but I don't know. I also feel like I'd be thinking about it all the time. And I'd be like, oh, like one day when I have dementia, like I won't be able to do this anymore, you know? Like I feel like it'd kind of be like depressing. Like ignorance is bliss. Did you know that you can find out where someone lives by looking up their voter registration? Not that I would ever do something like that.
Have you tried that before?
No, I would never do that.
You know when you see like get a picture of your grandparents, say, and they're like young, and it's like a really small like black and white photo, and now there's just so much like our grandkids, if like the world doesn't end due to like climate change, like our grandkids will have so much information on us. Like the internet's still like up and working. Like imagine them seeing your like freshman year like for a TBH post.
Oh no.
Or something like that. I don't know. I'm just like, it's so weird that it's like we're chronicling our own histories.
That's really deep. But also I think I read something somewhere where it was like social media makes everyone like a celebrity, but not everyone like should be a celebrity or like have like a platform, basically. Which I think is true.
It's not like subtweeting us. It's like we could make a podcast, but maybe we shouldn't.
Oh no. I think it's like a slippery slope because like one of the parts of the internet is that it's like very free and very democratic, and like previously marginalized groups have a chance to like speak their truth. But also I feel like sometimes there needs to be gatekeepers, not just for like accuracy of information, like with the whole like disinformation campaign of like the 2016 election, but also just like there are some views that should not be spread, like, you know, like racism and bigotry and like misogynism. Because I want to be like, oh, everyone's views should have a platform, but I think it's really hard combined with like the anonymity of the internet and the easy access for people to have discussions about hot takes in like a very like respectful and informative way. It's very easy to just be like, yeah, I think it's very easy for someone to just like post an opinion on their story and be like, this is my opinion, if you don't agree then like shut the fuck up, you know. But that's not like, that's so pointless. Like if you're gonna post a hot take on social media, then at the very least like you should like be doing it to invite like a discourse. Like don't just like post your like opinion and say like, this is my opinion, and if you don't agree then I don't want to hear it, you know. Like what's the point of that? You're just adding to like all the useless stuff that's on the internet, and in this attention economy we should be very mindful of what we pay attention to. Yeah.
Is that from
Jenny Odell?
I feel like it's like a recovering like internet SJW. I've like just realized how pointless it is, like thinking about all those times where like we just like engage in these pointless like internet catfights over like, yeah, I think like like they're important issues, but in the end both sides were just mad. I don't think we changed each other's minds. Also, it's kind of like the whole thing going back to speaking with someone face to face. If you disagree with someone, I think it's so much easier to have a productive conversation and like a respectful conversation than over the internet. Kind of goes to like, they say like if you're fighting with your partner or something, you should always do it in person, not over text, because sometimes text, like you don't see their like expressions and their like little nuances, I guess, that can really change the meaning or make it like more like sensitive. A lot of the time just our usage of the internet is just to like spew out our own opinions and our ideas and our media and our pictures, just for like you said, like attention, I guess, but not really to change who we are as like people or like improve as a person. It's kind of just like broadcast whatever we think.
Literally us broadcasting what we think right now. Whoa, bro, that's like, so meta.
Well, at least we're self-aware.
Maybe if our 25 subscribers would connect with us more and let us know their opinions, we could have a dialogue. Comment below if you agree. It's just the two of us commenting back and forth.
Yeah. There's just so much to consume just online. It's like no longer just like books, but there's like articles and podcasts, videos. Like I feel like I consume so much and I remember nothing. I don't know if it's because I'm just like dumb or I'm not sleeping enough and my brain isn't working. But sometimes I'm just like, I just feel like I spend so much time like reading articles and I'm like, I read the article, and someone's like, what is it about? And I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, we put out so much information freely. Like recently I like changed all of my Facebook like things that I had posted to like only me. It just feels weird to have like that much stuff out there. We say as we put more stuff out there.
Especially like videos of us talking. Dude, people have like recordings of our voices.
Stop that! Oh my god, they can make one of those things where they like string together things of us. Dude, have you seen those ones where it's like Barack Obama like singing like this song, you know, like or whatever?
Yeah.
Somebody should do that with our podcast.
One of our 25 subscribers.
Yeah. The internet does like create like a false feeling of like being close with not only like influencers or like celebrities or whatever, but also sometimes with like actual people, because it's so easy to just like respond to someone's text like when you're in class and like have a conversation with them because you have like nothing else to do. But then when it actually comes to like either like them needing you in person or like you asking for them to like do something like, hey, can you like, I don't know, bring me a MacBook charger or something, like a lot of times like these like friendships that you've like spent so much time with online do not like translate to the real world, because I feel like people have like a threshold of like what they're willing to do for you as a friend, and it's very easy to like be like friends with someone online but like not actually with them in real life.
Like, you know how people, they're like, oh, like I'm kind of friends with someone, and we like stay in touch with Snapchat, and like they're like, I don't want to lose this relationship, at the same time like I wouldn't hang out with them one-on-one. But also I think it's kind of speaks to our like lack of communities like offline, because I feel like with like the whole like nuclear family situation, if you think about places like China, where I feel like you're so much more connected with the people you live with. Like when I move to a new apartment, like maybe I'll try to like bake cookies and be that person to be like, hey, like I'm new, let's hang out. But at the same time, I think we're so like programmed to just like live in our own little space and like go to work and hang out with people there, but then we like wouldn't hang out with them like elsewhere. It's like also just like individual houses in the suburbs at least, and not like apartment high rises where you have like more opportunities to like bump into people in the elevator and stuff. And here you just like drive to your garage and close the door, and it's kind of just like, there you are.
But I also feel like just because you have like the opportunity to do something doesn't mean like you necessarily will. Like, you know, we're basically living in like apartment high rises like in dorms now, and like do I know anyone on my floor other than like the freshmen who like randomly walked into like our room like the second week of school and we're like, oh my god, hello, your room is so cute. Like, no. So yeah, you know, like you can like lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Nay.